everyone, I'm İrem Turanlı. From now on, we will continue B1 level together. We're going to start with present simple. Actually, you remember this tense from A2, but today we are going to look at the differences between present continuous and present simple tense. So let's remind ourselves present simple and present continuous briefly. Where do we use present simple? Before we jump to the sentence structure, we use actions that happens regularly. It's like a routine. We can also use when we're talking about our habits, our hobbies. And we can use it while we're talking about permanent situations, like for example, I live in London. Londra'da yaşıyorum. Kalıcı bir durum. It's a permanent situation. So, when I am making that sentence, I use present simple. I live in London. There's one more topic that we use this tense. It's general knowledge. We're talking about facts that are proven and known by most of the people. Everyone knows it. Like, I'm going to write my example here. Water boils at 100 degrees. This is a fact. When we're talking about general knowledge / facts, we use present simple. One more example. Sun, where can I write this? Sun sets in the west. This is a scientific fact that is known by everyone, so we use it with present simple. And now we can talk about our sentence structure. Cümle yapımızdan bahsedeceğiz. Subject, of course, then our verb. Verbümüzün hangi halini kullanıyoruz? Verb 1 and object. But there's a difference between the use of verb according to our subjects. I use fiilin yalın halini IUV'de kullanıyorum. An object. But with these subjects, he, she, it, I add S to my verb. And of course, object. Let's make an example. I sleep early every night. Öncelikle cümle anlamıma baktığım zaman her gece yaptığım bir eylemden, aktiviteden bahsediyorum. That's why we use present simple. And fiilime bakıyorum, özneme bakıyorum ve özneme s takısı gelmediği için fiilimi verb 1 s takısız olarak kullanıyorum. Now, let's talk about time phrases. I think that you know it all, but let's remind. Always, never, usually, rarely. What else? We can use, by the way, twice, for example, twice a month. Bu da bir sıklık ifade eden kelimemiz. Twice a month olabilir. Once a year also tells me that it is something that happens according to a routine. Once a year. Often, bu kısma ekleyelim. Also, we can use, for example, every day, every night, every year, every week. Or I can use, for example, at weekends. Hafta sonları. An action that happens every weekend. There's a timeline and I do that specific action on every weekend. Bunu da hafta sonları diye çevirebiliriz. Aslında bunun aynısı Türkçe'de de tam karşılık olarak var. Hafta sonları mesela şuraya gitmeyi severim, buraya gitmeyi severim ya da giderim. Bu şekilde örnek verebiliriz. And I want to talk about the negative sentence structure. I'm writing my subjects again. I, you, we, they. And he, she, it. I, you, we, they'den sonra do not ya da kısaltılmış haliyle don't getiriyorum. And verb 1. He, she, it de does not. In short, doesn't. Verb 1. Burada şuna dikkat çekmek istiyorum. It's a common mistake. Genelde öğrenciler buraya he, she, it, doesn't'dan sonra tekrar buraya s takısı getirmeye çalışıyorlar fiile. Hayır, because I have my s in here on doesn't. And I don't need to add another s to my verb. So we use verb 1. And what about the question sentences? I take my do and does to the beginning of my sentence. Then my subjects do, I, you, we, and they. Does, he, she, and it. And my verb 1. Again, tekrar aynı şeyden bahsedeceğiz. I don't have to add s to my verb because it's already in here. It's the same thing with my negative sentences. We don't add another s to my verb. Now, let's do exercises, examples. I want to say, I go to school every morning. It is an occasion that happens every morning, so I use my present simple. And since my subject is I use verb 1, no s. She doesn't want to eat that cake because she likes cookies. My subject is she. And o pastayı yemek istemez diyeceğiz. Since our subject is she and this is a negative sentence, I use doesn't. Doesn't want to eat that cake because she likes cookies. Burada da ilk cümlenin aksine olumlu bir cümle görüyorum. My subject is same, which is she. And this time I add verb 1 and s to my verb because, like I said, our subject is she. Now, let's give an example, one more. I never play basketball. This is a negative sentence, but there is not don't. Neden? Bu cümlem olumsuz bir cümle olmasına rağmen burada don't görmüyorum. Çünkü never zaten bu cümleyi anlam olarak ve yapı olarak olumsuz yaptığından tekrar don't kullanmıyorum. Bu cümle never'la zaten olumsuz cümle oluyor. I always watch the news before sleeping. Let's have a look at this sentence. Always'im var. Bir sıklık belirtecim var burada aslında. Bunun cümledeki yerine dikkat etmenizi istiyorum. It is in between my subject and my verb. Then, an additional clue, konudan bağımsız olarak da burada bir noktaya dikkat çekmek istiyorum. Before sleeping, uyumadan önce diye çeviriyoruz. O zaman buradan hangi sonucu çıkarabilirim? Bir fiilimin arkasına ing geldiğinde ve verb olarak, fiil olarak kullanılmadığında bizdeki aslında isim fiil dediğimiz şeye denk geliyor. Bu da ekstra bir bilgi olarak kalsın. Şimdi present tense'imizi anladık, örneklerimizi verdik. Son olarak let's give examples of the question form of present simple tense. Then we will C, present progressive. Question examples. Does she like spending time with us? What does it mean? Bizimle zaman geçirmekten hoşlanıyor mu? And there is my subject, which is why there is an S, and this is a yes-no question. There's two answers, yes or no. Yes, she does. And this is the short answer. But how can I say my long answer? Yes, she likes spending time with us. Gerisi aynı. Burada yine şuraya dikkat etmenizi istiyorum. In our short answer, we use does. But when we give long answer, since this is already a sentence on its own, she likes spending time with us, and the rest of it. Buraya baktığımızda zaten kendi başına bir cümle olduğu için burası, tekrar buraya does getirmeme gerek yok. That's why I use does in short answer, and this is my long affirmative answer. And if I want to say no, no she doesn't. And if I continue my sentence, no she doesn't like spending time with us. And the rest is the same. This is short answer, and if I continue, this is my long answer. Okay. It's time for present continuous, which is also bazı yerlerde present progressive olarak da görebilirsiniz. Bir hatırlayalım. Present continuous neydi? We're talking about the actions that are happening right now at the moment as we're speaking. Actions that are happening at the moment. Yani şu an gerçekleşmekte olan eylemleri anlatırken kullanıyoruz. Bir şey daha var. There is one more thing that we use with present continuous or progressive. When we're talking about our plans for future. Planned future. Sometimes we can get confused because students ask, this is happening in the future, why we use present continuous? But don't forget the planned future facts. And when we're talking about things that are not permanent, things or actions that are permanent. Geçici durumlardan bahsederken de present continuous kullanıyoruz. O zaman cümle yapımızı hatırlayalım. Subject be and verb ing. Be'miz öznemize göre çekimlenecek ve sonuna verbimize ing getireceğiz. Obviously, he, she, it, gets, is, verb ing. Sorry. You, we, they, gets, are, verb ing, and I am, verb ing. This is the affirmative positive sentence structure, and if I want to make negative sentence, I use subject plus be not, verb ing. For example, he, she, it is not. For short, isn't. You, we, they, are, aren't, are not. I am not. This is the negative sentence. It's an easy one. And if I want to look at the question form, I write my be in the beginning, then my subject, and then verb ing. Let's make an example. Are you coming with us to get ice cream? Bizimle dondurma almaya geliyor musun diye soruyorum. My subject is you. Be'ye göre çekimledim. Öznem you olduğu için are oldu. Fiilim come. I add ing to my verb. Now let's answer. Again, this is a yes or no question. Yes, I am. Now, burada neden you ile sormuş I diye cevap veriyorum. Sometimes this also confuses students or who wants to learn English because when I'm asking to you, you answer I, blah, blah, blah. This is also a point that you should be careful with. Yes, I am is the short version of my answer, and if I want to continue to this sentence, it makes the long affirmative answer to my question. Yes, I am coming with you to get ice cream. Sorry. And no, I am not coming, blah, blah, blah. That is our example. Şey demek istiyorum. Şu an annem mutfakta yemek yapıyor. Özlem, my subject, my mother, is be çekimim. My verb is cook. I add ing, cooking. Right now, in the kitchen. If I wanted to make this sentence a negative one, I would add is not cooking right now in the kitchen. This is the affirmative sentence. This is the negative. Everything else is the same. Be not. One more. Önümüzdeki hafta Paris'e gideceğiz. Now, I'm talking about planned future. And as we spoke, present continuous also can be used to tell us the plans about future. We are going to Paris next week. Bakıyorum, geleceğe dair planlanmış bir şeyden bahsediliyor ve dediğimiz gibi present continuous'un kullanım alanlarında geleceğe dair planlanan eylemler için de kullanabiliyoruz. We're going to Paris next week. I want to say, geçici olan durumlarda da demiştik ya. Nowadays, I am staying at my friend's house. Bugünlerde arkadaşımın evinde kalıyorum. Geçici bir durumdan bahsediyorum, konuştuğumuz gibi. That's why I use present continuous. It's not going to last forever. It's just for nowadays. So that's why we used present continuous. Now, what time phrases we can use with present continuous? Right now, at the moment, now, currently, time phrases that we can use with present progressive. Let's give an example. Currently, she is working for a company. What we understand from this sentence that this job is not her permanent job. This is something that is happening currently. Kısa sürecek bir şeyden bahsediyoruz, geçici bir eylemden. O yüzden present continuous kullandım. And we also have state verbs. This is a perfect definition of differentiating present simple and present continuous. When we see some particular verbs, we can understand which tense I'm going to use it with. State verbs are the verbs that cannot become progressive. The verbs that cannot become progressive. Demek istediğimiz şey burada, state verb'lerimiz sadece present simple tense'de kullanılabilen ve şimdiki zamanda ya da herhangi bir ing şeklinde kullanılamayan, yani buna past continuous da dahil. Bunlarla kullanamadığımız fiillerden bahsederken bunlar state verb oluyor. Now, let's have a look at what are the state verbs. For example, love, hate, need, understand, forget, remember, enjoy. We said need. Okay, there are more state verbs, but these are the ones that we use the most. And every verb that describes an emotion state verb is a state verb. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to memorize them, because you're going to forget that. But when you understand its logic, it's easier to remember and use. We were talking about where we use present continuous, and I would like to add one more usage of present continuous. We use present continuous or progressive to describe or express our complaints. So, we're using present progressive when we're complaining. And mostly we do this complaining using always, constantly, and forever. These are time phrases that we use when we're complaining in present continuous. Now, you may ask, why do we use always in present continuous? Because we don't. Actually, always is a phrase that we use in present tense. But this is an exception. Bu bir istisna. You are always playing on your PC, computer. This is a complaint that we're talking about. I used always after my form of be and before my verb ing. As I said, this is an exception, bu bir istisna. Normally, we use always with present simple tense, and that's the only usage in present continuous of always. Let's give one more example. She constantly is constantly complaining about her hair. This is a complaint and present progressive. This is my subject, my form of be, my time phrase, and my verb ing. This time phrase is between my form of be and verb ing. And form of be. Sürekli durmadan saçı hakkında şikayet ediyor. Now let's give more examples differentiating the present simple and present continuous. Then we can do a review. We choose our tense according to what do we want to tell. My family always come to visit me. This is present simple because I saw my time phrase, and this is an action that happens regularly. There's a frequency. She isn't doing her homework instead she is playing chess with her friend. Actually, there are two main sentences in this example. One is here and one is here. There are two complete sentences. I'm looking at the first sentence. My subject is she. And I'm looking at the time. This is happening right now. So, isn't, and verb ing. She isn't doing her homework. Instead, she is playing chess with her friend. Ödevini şu an yapmıyor. Onun yerine şu an arkadaşıyla satranç oynuyor. We are having a picnic. Do you want to join us? Let's have a look at this sentence. We are having picnic. Biz şu an piknik yapıyoruz. I understand it, that is happening right now, from the tense. Do you want to join us? Bize katılmak ister misin? This is verb 1. We said that want is a state verb that cannot be used with present progressive. This is my question in present simple tense. Now you may ask, we cannot add ing to our verb have, then why do we use having in this sentence? Because have, when it means you own something, when we use have in this meaning, owning something, it cannot get progressive, which means it's a state verb. But we have some things that we use with have. For example, have picnic. This doesn't mean that I own picnic. That means that we are making a picnic. This is the meaning of this. That's why its meaning here is sort of like making, doing. That's why have can get ing in this example. Have picnic, have, for example, party, have shower. In these phrases, have doesn't mean owning. It means making, doing. That's why we can use have with verb ing in present progressive. Let's continue with our examples. Is she in the shower right now? She's not answering my calls. Is she in the shower right now? This can be A, this can be B, and this is a dialogue. We say, şu an duşta mı? Telefonlarıma cevap vermiyor, aramama cevap vermiyor. I want to say, no, she isn't, which means no, she isn't at the shower, but it's a short answer. No, she isn't. She is helping her mother at the moment. Let's translate this example. Hayır, duşta değil. Şu an annesine yardımcı oluyor, yardım ediyor. How often do you visit your grandparents? Now, this is not a classic yes or no question. I'm asking a question that has only one answer. In yes/no question, there are two answers. And what's my main question is, how often, ne sıklıkla büyük anneni ve büyük babanı ziyaret edersin? I can say, I visit my grandparents twice a week. Or I can say, I visit them twice a week. Now, we gave this example, but I want you to also remind twice, once. What were these? Do you remember? But these are the exceptions. When we're talking about the other ones, 3 kere, 4 kere, we use 3 times, 4 times, and etc. These two are exceptions. The others are according to the rule. Ben onları ya da büyükanne ve büyükbabamı haftada 2 kez ziyaret ederim. Now we're talking about an action that happens regularly. That's why I use present simple. Since my subject is I, this is verb 1. Where do you go to gym? This is also a double WH question. That's why it will have only one answer. I can say I go to the one that is near my house. Evimin yakınındakine gidiyorum. This is also something that happens regularly. That's why this sentence is made in present simple tense. When are you going to, when are you leaving for, let's say, London? London'a ne zaman yola çıkıyorsun? The reason that I used present progressive in this question is because it is something that is planned and that is going to happen in the future. Planned future, that's why I used present progressive. I am leaving tomorrow at 9. This is a WH question. Zamanı soruyorum. Ne zaman? And again, I made this sentence in present continuous. Be form and verb ing. I hope that you understood the things we told so far. Let's make a review from the beginning. What we saw today. Bugün gördüklerimizi tekrar edelim. Okay, we talked about present simple at the first place. We said we are talking about actions that happen regularly and something that is, we are talking about a routine. We said habits, hobbies. We said permanent situations like I live in London. General knowledge, facts. I said water boils at 100 degrees. Let's have a look at the sentence structure one more time. With subject, verb, and object. We said he, she, it gets an S in their verb and object. Again, are you, we, they gets verb 1 in its form. I sleep early every night. Every night. And my subject is I. That's why this verb in its own form. Zaman zarflarından bahsettik, zaman belirteçlerimizden. Always, never, usually, rarely, often, sometimes. We said it can be twice a month, once a year, 3 times a week. Every day, every night, every year, every week, or at weekends, or, for example, on Mondays, on Fridays, Cuma günleri. Bunlar zaman belirteçlerimiz dedik. Then later, we talked about negative sentence structure. These subjects, I, you, we, they, gets, do not, or for short, don't, and verb 1. These subjects, he, she, it, gets, does not, doesn't, for short, and my verb 1. They both get verb 1. We explained that my verb doesn't get S because it's already here. Question structure in simple present tense. We take do and does and put them in the beginning of my sentence. Do, does, and then my subjects. I, you, we, they, he, she, it. We also explained that my verb in he, she, it doesn't get S because it's already in here. And let's write one more example for question form of present simple. I can clean here. Oh sorry, geri mi gittim ben? Yo. Tamam burayı şey yaparız. Tamam evet buradan devam edeceğim. Let's give one more example to question form of present simple. Does she enjoy her? Bu örneği vermiştim, çok özür dilerim. Alıyorum. Let's give one more example to question form of present simple. Do they celebrate their birthday on time? My subject is they. That's why we put do in the beginning. My verb 1 in its own form celebrates. They celebrate their birthday on time. We can answer in 2 ways. Yes, they do. Or no, they don't. These are the short answers. And if I want to give long answers, I can say, yes, they celebrate their birthday on time. No, they don't celebrate. If I continue from here, it's a long answer. We gave an example. She doesn't want to eat that cake because she likes cookies. We gave one more example here. And we talk about how we use never. Never adds the negative meaning to that sentence. That's why we don't add don't or doesn't to our sentence. Never on its own is enough. I never play basketball. There is no such thing. Şöyle bir şey yok. I don't never play basketball. Böyle bir şey yok. I always watch the news before sleeping. We talked about the placement of these phrases, time phrases in the sentence after the subject and before our verb. Question examples. Does she like spending time with us? Does, because I saw the subject is she. My verb is verb 1, there is no S. Time with us. I answered, yes she does for short, or yes she likes spending time with us, long answer. No she doesn't, no she doesn't like spending time with us. Present continuous or progressive. Where do we use and how do we use? Actions that are happening at the moment. They are happening right now, and when we're talking about them, we're using present continuous or progressive. Also, we said our plans about the future when we're talking about them. It can be my plan for next month, but it's for sure, and I can use present continuous. Also, we said on the last page that when we're complaining about something, we can use present continuous, and to that complaints, we add always, forever, constantly, we can use them. And my sentence structure, affirmative sentence structure, my subject, be form of my subject, which is am, is, are, and verb ing. He, she, it, gets, is, and verb ing. You, they, gets, are, verb ing. I, gets, am, verb ing. And if I want to make my sentence negative, I use be not after my subject. My subject, be form, not, and verb ing. Question form, I take my form of be and put it in the beginning of my sentence, then subject and verb ing. For example, are, you, we, they, verb ing, is, he, she, it, verb ing, am, I, verb ing. And there are more examples. Are you coming with us to get ice cream? Yes, I am coming with you, or no, I am not coming with you. My mother is cooking right now in the kitchen. This is an action that is happening right now, as we can understand from the sentence. This is an obvious example that you can understand. This is my be form because my mother, in the form of a subject, she, and she gets is. Or if I wanted to make this sentence negative, I would use is not, and the rest would be the same. We are going to Paris next week. This example is telling us planned future. This is planned future. My be form, my verb and ing, and I saw that there's a time phrase that indicates that this is definitely going to happen in the future. Nowadays, I am staying at my friend's house. We also said that we use present continuous in the situations that happens currently, not permanently. That's why I understand that this example is the use of actions that are happening currently. Bugünlerde arkadaşımın evinde kalıyorum. It's not permanent. I'm gonna move out soon. So, yeah. Time phrases, right now, at the moment, now, currently. Currently, she is working for a company. But this is not going to last forever. She will quit someday and get another job. Now, we talked about state verbs. We said that they can only be used with present simple or past simple, not with progressive ones. Not present progressive, not past progressive, any progressive. They cannot get ing. Love, hate, things that indicate emotions, we said, realize, have. These are the verbs that cannot get ing, but we said that we have an exception. Bir istisnamız var, which is have. When it gives the meaning of owning, it cannot get ing, it cannot be progressive, but when it is used and has the meaning of making, doing, it can get progressive. For example, have picnic. We said have party, have shower. And this can get ing, which can become present progressive or any progressive. This is an important note. We talked about this. Complaints, we use always, constantly, forever to emphasize our meaning of, complain. You're always playing on your PC. This can be an example that a mother tells her son or daughter. Her zaman sürekli bilgisayarında oyun oynuyorsun. This is a complaint, bir şikayet bu. Baktım, I look at my present continuous usage. You get or always, the placement in the sentence, we said after the be and before my verb ing. She's constantly complaining about her hair. Now, my subject is she, that's why my form of be is. Constantly my time phrase and my verb ing. My family always comes to visit me. This is a present simple example that happens regularly, and this word indicates that. She isn't doing her homework. Instead, she is playing chess with a friend. I can see two main sentences here, two complete sentences. This is the first one, and after the comma, this is the second one. This is a negative sentence, and this is a positive one. She isn't doing her homework. My form of be is, since it's negative, isn't, is not, my verb ing, and let's have a look at the second sentence. Again, my subject is she, and since it's affirmative, we get is, the form of be, the right form of be, playing my verb ing, and that's it. Having a picnic. Do you want to join us? This is also happening right now. I mean, the first sentence is happening right now. And my subject in that sentence is we. And that's why it gets our form of be. And my verb, as we talked about earlier, have a picnics, gets ing. And the second sentence is actually could be present progressive, but my verb is a state verb. That's why I cannot make a sentence that want is the verb, but also has the meaning of happening right now. That's why I write this sentence in the present simple. I look at my subject, you. This is a question. Do you? And my verb, since it's present simple, verb 1, also is a state verb, to join us. We just talked about this. How often do you visit your grandparents? Now, we have WH questions. We have WH questions and yes or no questions. WH questions are how, when, what, who, where, and these can, the sentence, the question that is created with WH words can have a lot of answers. But yes or no question gets two answers. It can be do subject blah blah blah, be subject blah blah blah, did subject blah blah blah. Let's discuss the WH questions. There's also two more examples. Where do you go to gym? WH questions gets in the beginning of my sentence. And then, in this particular example, do gets after that. Do you go to gym? I could say the one near the lake, the one is on top of your building. It can have numerous answers. I go to the one that is near my house. Also, we said that this is something that happens regularly. That's why it's in present simple. When are you leaving for London? This is present continuous. And this is also a WH question. But the reason that we make this sentence in present continuous is that it has a meaning that this action, this particular action, is going to happen in the future and it's planned. I am talking about time. We could also say what time. They have the same meaning. Our answer is I am leaving tomorrow at 9. This indicates our answer better, and we can understand that this sentence tells us that this action will happen in the future. That's why we use it with present continuous. That's it for today, guys. See you later. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. Make sure that you study for these subjects that we practiced. Stay safe.